In today's video, we're going to be talking about Pinterest SEO. SEO is important on Pinterest because it helps your pins get seen and then you can bring those eyes back onto your content. We'll be going over how your pins get seen in various ways and how to get your Pinterest ranked in the most important place on Pinterest, which is Pinterest search. Let's get started. Hi, my name is Sarah from Businesswomen Thrive, and I love using Pinterest to bring traffic back to my blog. I would say that a good 80% of the traffic that I get to my blog is coming from Pinterest. But first, let's start with the basics. SEO, if you don't know, stands for Search Engine Optimization. You may have heard of this in relation to Google because, as we all know, Google is a search engine. The same goes for Pinterest. Just like Google, Pinterest is a search engine, not a social media site like Twitter or Facebook. But unlike Google, where you mostly find blog posts, Pinterest is a visual search engine, so you will find a lot of things on DIY home decor, crafts, cooking, and things like that. So if you're in any of those niches, there is a good chance that your content will do really well on Pinterest. But even so, there are a lot of niches that do well on Pinterest, and if you have the correct SEO strategy, pretty much any blog can do really well on Pinterest. So now let's go over the way that your pins get seen. Your pins get seen in two different ways. The first way is the Pinterest Smart Feed. The Pinterest Smart Feed is basically the first thing that you see when you log on to Pinterest, and it is basically your home page that has all of the different pins in it. We call that the Pinterest Smart Feed. Now, the important thing to know about the Pinterest Smart Feed is it is not in chronological order. Meaning, if you post a pin at 10:01 and somebody posts a pin at 10:02, there's a good chance that those pins will not show up next to each other. And that just means that it doesn't necessarily matter the time that you pin your pins because they won't be seen in that order. Pins on your feed gets shown based off of personal interest. So it's a mix of new pins from the boards that you follow and a mix of your likes and interests. So now what does this actually have to do with SEO? It really has a lot to do with it. When you use SEO on Pinterest, which is adding the correct caption to your pins, adding alt tags, which is a new thing, and adding your pin title, this tells Pinterest what your pin is about. Because that's all SEO is really, you need to tell Pinterest what your pin is about, so that way they'll know where to place it in the feed. This is happening on your Pinterest Smart Feed whether you know it or not. If you look up a topic, for example, crock-pot recipes, if you play around there enough and you look at a few pins, the next time that you go to your Pinterest home feed, there is a very, very good chance that crock-pot recipes will start to show up. This is SEO at work. Pinterest realizes that you looked up crock-pot recipes through your search history, and so they realize that you've engaged with some of those pins and that you like that content. So the next time that you go to your homepage or your Pinterest Smart Feed, which is the same thing, Pinterest will realize that you like that content, so it will serve you up more of that content. And the reason that Pinterest knows what those pins are about and why they should put them on your homepage is because of the Pinterest SEO that has been done by the original pinner in the back end using the tags and the description. Before we move on to the next point, if you're getting value out of this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel down below for more videos just like this. The second place that your pins get seen is in Pinterest search. This one is pretty self-explanatory. When you search something up on Pinterest, the relevant pins will show up. This is exactly the same way that Google works. And so, of course, you want your pins to show up at the top, because the higher your pins show up in search, the more chance you have to get those pins clicked on. And you can get your pins to show up by using a good Pinterest SEO strategy. Now, it's not guaranteed that your pins are actually going to show up in search. There is some back-end algorithm that we really don't know about, and there's just a lot of things that go into it, and of course, they don't tell us what these things are. But if you do the proper SEO work and you do as much as you can to get your pins seen, you have a higher chance of getting shown up in search. Now that brings up the question of how to rank on Pinterest. The first thing you want to do is look for keywords. The easiest way to do this is to start typing into the Pinterest search bar. Like if you type in crock-pot recipes into the Pinterest search bar, you're going to see all of these suggestions popping up and trying to finish your sentence. This is Pinterest trying to guess what it is that you are going to say. And the reason that those searches are the ones that pop up is because they are the most popular searches that people were searching for. And we can use this to our advantage as bloggers, because if we type in something relevant to our blog post, whatever shows up after is the relevant keywords that we could add into our pin descriptions and pin titles. And this is the easiest way to find keywords. One of the things you want to be wary of is keyword stuffing. So when you are writing your descriptions, you want to make sure that you are not just jumbling up a bunch of keywords back to back to back. So blogging, comma, blogging for beginners, comma, how to make money blogging, comma, make money online, comma, etc., etc. You don't just want to keyword stuff your descriptions. Pretty much what you want to do is you want to make something easy for humans to read naturally. So basically like writing a paragraph. but you want to insert keywords into those sentences so that you can write for the algorithm as well. That's really the best way to look at it. Write a paragraph with sentences, but keep those keywords in those sentences so that the algorithm knows what your pin is about as well. If you are struggling with Pinterest, I have two great resources for you. The first one is a playlist of all the Pinterest videos that I have done in the past. I'll leave a link to it right here on the YouTube card or down below in the description. I have a ton of videos that teach you how to create business accounts and write pin descriptions and more. So make sure you check that out if you're interested. The second resource is one of my favorite blogging courses. It's called Pinterest with Elle. Pretty much all of my Pinterest knowledge has come from this course. It's a super affordable e-course that I highly recommend to all of the bloggers that I talk to because I absolutely love this course. Not only is this course great because it is affordable, but this course gets updated regularly with updates and it works. So if you're interested in checking that out, it's called Pinterest with Elle. I will leave a direct link down below in the description, of course. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like if you liked and subscribe to my channel down below for more videos just like this. And I will see you next week. Bye!